Hello, this is Bill Zoller with the lifestyle-interventions.com website, and today we're going to be presenting a video that is a companion media for an article of the same name on our website. The topic today is cancer prevention and some comments about those people groups who do not get cancer. This is about the primary and secondary prevention of cancer. We have actually lost the war on cancer in the sense that it continues to be an epidemic and may even be increasing in incidence. Some experts speculate that cancer may take over as the #1 medical cause of death in place of heart disease. Several of the people groups that we're going to discuss today appear to not get cancer at all, or if there is some cancer in the particular group, it is a remarkably low incidence of cancer. First of all, we want to say a few things about people in the 5 worldwide blue zones, a concept that means in this geographic area there has been exceptional long life, longevity, and an extraordinary low incidence of most all diseases, including cancer. And that would first of all include the Okinawans, the world's healthiest documented elderly people. They eat squash, papayas, greens, tomatoes, leeks, melons that contain cancer-fighting antioxidants, sea vegetables, and soy products that are minimally processed. The elderly Okinawans are much less likely to die from cancer compared to American elderly people. Secondly, the Seventh-day Adventists are a blue zone people, and these are the Adventists living in the area of Loma Linda, California. They have been looked at for multiple decades of medical research, looking at the specifics of how it is they live so long and so healthy. They drink plenty of water. They have a vegetarian diet of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and nuts. And they are quite physically active. They value helping others. Their body mass index is great, and they currently lead our nation in the longest life expectancy. Next, in these blue zones are the Sardinians. They consume mastic oil that has antibacterial and anti-mutagenic or anti-cancer properties. They eat barley, fava beans, chickpeas, tomatoes, almonds, sheep's milk, potatoes, onions, and zucchini, and some Sardinian wine that contains flavonoid nutrients that may protect against cancer and heart disease. They are never bored, and they highly value their families, their farming, and their animals. Next, in Costa Rica on the Nicoya Peninsula, these are very physically active people. They have an excellent diet, and they have succeeded in achieving lifelong happiness. What an enviable trait, huh? They eat exotic fruits, lime-soaked corn tortillas, bananas, papayas, beans, onions, garlic, fresh tomatoes, jalapeno peppers, corn, cilantro, and cheese. And their water appears to have very high levels of healthy calcium and magnesium. Finally, in the blue zones, we have Icaria, Greece. They have a diverse Mediterranean diet, including vegetables, legumes, greens, olive oil and olives, hummus, tea from local herbs, some coffee, potatoes, local honey, and fish. They consume no processed food and little or no sugar. One of the most important aspects of their diet is beans and pulses. So these are just a wonderful, healthy people who live a long time without disease. Next, I wanted to mention a couple of groups that are in what we call cold spots. A cold spot is a place where there are very few cases of specific diseases, the major chronic diseases, very few cases, but they do have other illnesses. So in Cameroon, West Africa, they are a cold spot for colon cancer. They don't get colon cancer, whereas in America, we are the number 2 country in the world for colon cancer. In Cameroon, they eat a lot of dietary fiber in fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and whole grains. They eat a lot of freshly harvested greens, and they consume African grains such as millet, sorghum, and teff. The Hispanics are in a cold spot. They have less cancer of the prostate, breast, and colon. That's associated with consuming all sorts of legumes, corn, tomatoes, chili peppers, rice, and corn. In Papua New Guinea, the Highlanders, a cold spot for dementia and cancer and stroke. They don't consume refined sugar, vegetable oils, or other processed foods. Primarily, they eat a variety of tubers, including yams, sweet potatoes, taro, and cassava. Finally, in these cold spots is the Tarahumara Indians in Copper Canyon, northern Mexico. They have an extremely low incidence of heart disease and cancer. They are probably the most efficient runners in the world. Their diet is one of complex carbohydrates like beans, corn, and squash. Then I want to add to these other groups 3 other long-lived groups of people who not only live a long time, but they live without chronic disease. And the thing about these 3 groups is that they do not have clearly documented evidence of their age. And so the first of these would be the Abkhazians in southern Russia. They are lacto-vegetarians who rarely eat meat. They love their cornmeal porridge. They don't consume leftovers. And their average total cholesterol is 98. Very enviable trait there. Secondly, the Hunzans. These people are in northernmost Pakistan. They consume a lot of whole grains, including wheat, barley, millet, and buckwheat, and they eat the seeds of a grass called Job's Tears. Much of their diet is consumed raw, including corn on the cob. They do not overcook their vegetables. Their air, water, and soil appears to be very healthy. They tend to be a happy and passionate people who work in the fields until their most senior years. Finally, the Vilcabambans, and these are people in southern Ecuador, many of them living to be centenarians, 100 years old or older. They are most entirely vegetarian, consuming a lot of whole grains, vegetables, fruits, seeds, beans, and nuts. It is a rare occasion when they consume milk, eggs, meat, or butter. The Vilcabambans have a famous saying, each of us has 2 doctors, a left leg and a right leg. Good lesson for all of us, I think. So I just wanted to mention a couple of the issues and lifestyle practices that we see in these indigenous populations. They eat foods that are local, fresh, and in season. They eat until they're satisfied, not full. They consume non-meat sources of dietary fats from whole nuts, seeds, grains, and fatty fruits. They consume a diverse selection of healing spices like turmeric and ginger. They eat a diet that's low in overall calories and high in nutrients. They get sufficient sleep and rest. Many take naps. And they tend to be active in faith-based activities. Before we wrap it up, just a couple of comments about the radical remission or reversal of cancer. There are at least 1,000 people who we know of who have completely reversed their advanced stage cancers. And all of these folks have radically changed their diet to eliminate sweets, meat, dairy, and refined foods, and have increased fruits and vegetables and organic foods. They use herbs and supplements to strengthen their immune system. And they all have a viable social support network. I just finally want to mention a couple of the foods that that have been researched and that help to fight cancer cell growth. That would be celery, walnuts, red grapes, legumes, leafy dark green vegetables, turmeric, berries, beta-glucan in mushrooms, barley, and oats, nutritional yeast, cruciferous vegetables, and plenty of fiber from plant foods. Also, they eat a good deal of garlic and other allium foods and green tea. Well, that wraps it up for today, and I hope that this information about cancer prevention is valuable for you. It certainly is an important topic. Thank you for being with us.